Hello and greetings from Croatia. My name is Ivana Šarić. I'm US advisor, and today I'm going to introduce you to some facts about Croatia and tell you something about living and working conditions in Croatia. Let's start with saying a little bit about Croatia. Size of Croatia is 56,594 square kilometers. Although the land area of Croatia is not large, it is a country of diversity. So we have a lowland Pannonian, mountainous Dinaric, and a coastal Adriatic Sea. Croatia is Central European, but also a Mediterranean country. This diversity is also seen in local climate differences. So we have all types of weather in Croatia, snow during winter in the mountains to typically Mediterranean climate on the coast. Due to a big immigration wave in the past couple of years, Croatia now has a little bit less than 4 million citizens. There are probably more Croats living outside of the country than living in Croatia. The country has a history of immigration over the centuries, mostly for economic and political reasons. Croatian coast occupies most of the eastern Adriatic shoreline. There are more than 1,000 islands and islets, rocks and reefs along the coastline, so Croatia may justly be called the land of 1,000 islands. We are EU member since 1st July 2013, and the capital city is Zagreb. Official language is Croatian, but for first hand it is possible to get around with English language because a lot of people, especially young, in Croatia speak foreign language. Since the last year, official currency is euro. Neighboring countries are Slovenia to the west, Hungary to the north, Serbia, Bosnia, and Montenegro to the east, and Italy across the Adriatic. What is Croatia most famous for? Croatia is definitely known for its amazing natural beauty and tourism. Croatia is one of the environmentally best preserved lands of Europe. Besides beautiful Adriatic Sea, Croatia has 8 national parks and 11 nature parks. Along with natural beauties, rich history and culture is one of the main reasons why millions of people choose Croatia for their vacation. On the picture, you can see just a couple of historical and natural beauties, like a monument, Greeting to the Sun in Zadar, medieval fortress Trsat Castle above the city of Rijeka, famous city of Dubrovnik, great Roman amphitheater Pula Arena, and national parks Plitvice Lakes and Kornati. Nationals of EEA member states and Switzerland do not have to register to stay in the Republic of Croatia for a maximum of 3 months from the date of their entry if they possess a valid travel document or an identity card. If intending to stay for more than 3 months, they must report as a temporary resident to the police authority and apply for residency, and no later than 8 days after the expiry of 3 months stay. The right to permanent residence may be exercised after 5 years of uninterrupted legal residence in the Republic of Croatia. In order to live and work in Croatia, third country nationals are required to have a stay and work permit. A prerequisite for lodging the application for a stay and work permit is an offer of employment from a Croatian employer for a position that cannot be filled by Croatian nationals, other EU EEA nationals, or third country nationals with the right of residence in Croatia. The time spent in the Republic of Croatia is added to the time spent in other member states of the Schengen area. Citizens of third countries, regardless of whether they need a visa or not, can stay in the Schengen area for up to 90 days in each 180-day period. In the upcoming period, proposal of the new legislation regarding entry and stay of third country national is to be introduced. The aim is to ease the process for third country nationals of living and working in the country, focusing on filling the labor market gaps. In the announced changes, the biggest ones are streamlining the ability for third country nationals to change employers, extending the duration of stay and work permits, and providing easier access to services offered by the Croatian Employment Service. Legislation changes aim to ensure fair and efficient process for non-EU workers, aligning with broader EU standards to attract skilled labor. When you're planning to move to work to another country, it is important to have the living cost information. Well, cost of living in Croatia varies depending on the location. Bigger cities and places along the coast in general are much expensive to live than inland. It will also fluctuate based on your consumption habits and houses requirements. Expenditure on food and beverage accounts for 1/3 of total expenditure in Croatian households. Since implementation of euro, Croatia encountered big rise of living costs, and it is important to emphasize that during the summer months on the coast in some stores and restaurants, prices could be higher than usual. Here you can see listed some of the average prices for bread, milk, eggs, apples, water, beer, cinema tickets, and fuel. Rental and buying prices vary in different parts of Croatia. Highest in Dubrovnik, Split, and other tourist centers along the Adriatic coast, and Zagreb as the capital. In smaller continental areas, accommodation is more affordable. When renting a property, the landlord is most often left a deposit in the amount of 1 monthly rent, which is returned when moving out of the property. If you use the services of specialized agencies, most often the agency is paid a commission in the amount of 1 monthly rent. The average price of renting a one-bedroom apartment in Zagreb is about 500 to 700 euros per month and does not include overhead costs. On average, they are around 164 euros a month, lower during the summer and higher during the winter months. When buying a property, a commission is usually paid to the agency, which mediates in the purchase and sale in the amount of about 3% of the price of the property. The average price of a square meter of an apartment is about 2,382 euros per square meter, but with significant differences in different regions. In the east of Croatia, especially in rural areas, the price of apartment is below 1,500 euros per square meter, for houses even lower, while in the coastal area it is often over 3,000 euros per square meter or even 4,000 euros like in the city of Dubrovnik. In Zagreb, the capital city, the average price is around 2,800 euros per square meter, but there are large differences between the asking and realized price. When we talk about labor market trends, according to the Croatian Bureau of Statistics, registered unemployment rate in the first quarter of 2024 was 5.5%. In July 2024, youth registered unemployment rate, so up to 30 years, was 24.18%. Rate of young NEET age 18 to 29 in 2023 was 11.8%. In 2023, the employment rate for persons aged 15 to 64 in the Republic of Croatia was 65.7%. In the comparison of the final data of the 2021 census on the composition of the population of the Republic of Croatia, according to the highest completed school with previous censuses, a significant decrease in the share of the population with primary or a lower education can be observed, with the simultaneous increase in the share of the population with completed high school and higher education. Thus, in 2021, 20.4% of the population age 15 and over had primary school education or less, which is 10 percentage points less than in 2011, and even 65.2 percentage points less than in 1961, when more than 85% of the population had such education. In the period between 1961 and 2021, the share of the population with a high school diploma increased from 12.6% to 55% in 2021. Compared to 2011, the share of the population with a high school diploma increased by 2.9 percentage points. As you can see, our labor market is characterized by labor shortages in the construction industry, transport, hospitality, health, and ICT sector, while surpluses are recorded in occupations like photographers, economists, administrative secretaries, clerk, graphic technicians, ecology technicians, etc. Tourist season in Croatia generally lasts from the beginning of April to the end of October. And regarding Croatian economy, tourism is most important economic branch, which is accounting between 11 and 80% of Croatian GDP. During last year, around 20 million tourists visited Croatia, so we can say that Croatia is one of the most visited countries in the Mediterranean. Share between 6 and 13% of the total number of employees works in the tourism sector. Tourism in Croatia is concentrated in the areas along the Adriatic coast, but also other parts of Croatia in the inland and the capital Zagreb are being more discovered by tourists through the year. As we said, tourism and hospitality is one of the most important economic branches in Croatia. It implies that workers from other countries have the opportunity to get a job in this sector. Top occupations on the seasonal market are cooks, waiters, roommates, cleaners, kitchen helpers, tourist entertainers, receptionists, etc. When we talk about working conditions, from the beginning of this year, minimum wage in Croatia is approximately 677 euros in net amount, which is 840 euros gross, and this amount is determined by the law. Average monthly net earning in 2023 was approximately 1,208 euros per month, and average net wage in the tourism and hospitality sector varies from 800 to 1,300 euros per month. When making agreement with employer in Croatia, it is usual to agree the net amount. Employer deducts obligatory contributions of the gross amount, 20% pension insurance, 16.5% health insurance, and additional income tax and rate between 20 and 30%. In Croatia, we have a few types of working contracts. Contract for indefinite period, fixed-term contract, which can last for up to 3 years, seasonal employment contract, and a service contract. Every employer has to give you a work contract in written prior to taking up an employment. The contract should state when you start, where, and what will you do, and how long this employment would last. Probation period is also under the contract, and it cannot last longer than 6 months. Full working time is considered to be 8 hours a day or 40 hours a week. Daily work time is maximum 12 hours, except in seasonal activities, where is maximum of 14 hours a day. After the contract has been assigned by both parties, employer will register you at Croatian institutions in charge of health and pension insurance and provide you with the evidence of the registration. Paid annual leave is at least 4 weeks in a calendar year. Protection of workers' rights in the Republic of Croatia is ensured by the Labor Market Act, and additional protection is provided by unions and labor inspections. EU or EEA nationals who want to register with Croatian Public Employment Service, first of all, needs to have a personal identification number called OIB. OIB is assigned during the registration of a residence or in tax office if a person still hasn't registered address in Croatia. They also need a valid identification document from their home country and any confirmation of address of stay in Croatia. For example, rental contract or e-visitor system, which is a tourist check-in and check-out information system. For job search, there are several recommended private portals and Croatian Employment Service web portal. A job can also be found through private employment agencies, newspaper and radio ads, and open applications, especially with larger companies, are also recommended. If you're applying for a job position with Croatian employer, it is necessary to send the application to the email link specified in the job ad itself. And one of the specifics of job search in Croatia is that a lot of jobs are not published because employers rely on a mouth-to-mouth way of finding candidates. So thank you for your attention. And if you have any questions, you can contact us on the email stated on this slide or chat with Yours Croatia.